Hi. 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 How is everyone today? I am still sick, so that's certainly a thing that I'm having to deal with. But yeah, I'm going to do some painting because it's that time of the week. We gave Discord a choice between things to do because I didn't have time to build Fungi's Combat Patrol. And they had the option to do the Pied Piper Demon Prince, which we'd kit bashed and showed off before. The new Danger Noodle, which I built yesterday. And then a Giant Woman. And knowing you degenerates, of course there was only one option. Winning by a massive amount, the Giant Woman had won today's poll. So, Pied Piper Demon Prince. Literally just going around sacrificing an entire world to the Song of Slanesh. He's great. Look at him. He has a pipe. He be smoking souls in the pipe. Hey, Atticus. Degen is the way. Yes. So, today we have a giant woman. Look at her. Isn't she giant? She's definitely not horrific at all with her lack of nose and eyes. Definitely not one of the most messed up things I've ever made. Good steppies. She does have bare feet out, so for the Souls enthusiasts, I'm sure that's a plus. Of which I know we have many. Would you like to see the grippers, chat? It's actually really well sculpted, I have to say. Like, I'm not a foot person, but like, clearly whoever did this, like, used a lot of references. The giant woman will destroy us all. Yes. Yes, she will. And I don't think anyone in chat would complain about that. So yeah, this is what we're going to be painting tonight. We might have some time for some other stuff, because I'm not going to lie. She's going to have quite a simple paint scheme, because that's just how I want it to be, in all honesty. I don't think she needs to have a super complicated paint scheme. The only thing I really have to be concerned about is picking out the bits of spider webbing that that happened during the priming, which I didn't notice until now. Which there's not much of, but there is a little bit here and there. So I'm thinking we're going to give her like a dark blue, almost black kind of wings and hair. And we'll also do like the claw bits and the chitin on her in the same kind of color. And maybe her nails as well. I'm thinking that would work. I don't know what color I'm going to do these. The armor is going to be a burgundy color. Because I kind of want her to look like she's been taken from the Order of the Bloody Rose army I've got. So I was thinking like a reddish purple would work. You found a cheaper but not better alternative than Null Noil. I mean, I prefer oil washes when army building. And I no longer like a Null Noil because I do custom ink mixes for all my like all over washes. But shoot, what's your thing? Because I know the Vallejo's black wash is kind of a bit mid. It's very chalky Vallejo ink, so I'm not super keen on them. And chalky is not exactly a quality I typically ascribe to nice paints, which is weird because usually Vallejo paints are fantastic. Usually, Vallejo paints are fantastic. Oh, AK's Blackwash. I do like AK acrylics. They are fantastic. Yeah, so I'm not sure what color I'm going to do these horns. I feel like they're going to probably just be a very dark purple, maybe. Something that blends in with the skin. Because I'm thinking... Because the idea was, like, I was having, like, something burst out of her eyes to, like, show where blind faith has led her. She has a little tail. Just a little tail. I like her little tail. But anyway, I guess we'll just get started. I vaguely know what I'm doing, chat. I have a part of a plan. We'll see just how intact it is by the end of stream. Vallejo's metallics are hit or miss. I really like the Vallejo silver, which is basically the only one I use. Army Painter metallics, though, they're really nice. Like, when I first queried Army Painter, I was generally kind of warned off of them. They were described as cheap tat, and I'm generally kind of surprised by that, given the quality of their products. I've not had anything but positive experiences with Army Painter, and I'm glad I gave them a chance. I really am. Have I ever played Total Warhammer? Yes. Yes, I have played Total War Warhammer. Total War Warhammer 3 is probably one of my favorite games in the entire Total War franchise. I genuinely think Total War Warhammer is probably one of my favorite, like, general franchises, like, or series based on the Warhammer IP. Big fan. Do recommend. 10 out of 10. Game of the year every time they release a version of that game. Cha! Hi, how you doing? It's lovely to see you again. You're the best kitty. Wait, no. You're a mushroom. Still. Ah. So, chat, are we excited to see what we do with the giant woman? I think we can just get started, honestly. Do I want to use the big brush? I feel like I want to just use the big brush. Because we only have a little bit of armor to do. It's mostly just the corset and pauldrons, which we can just, like, crack on with, really. I've also got some rocks, some tactical rocks for the bases that I'm gonna do up to make them look like ice chunks. Just gonna gently... I'm gonna start with Sigvald Burgundy. Well, we're gonna do a fair bit more than just leave Sigvald Burgundy as the color. Though I really like Sigvald Burgundy. I don't mind if there's a tiny bit of overlap onto the cloth. For me, the important thing is that all of the armor gets covered correctly. Please let me know if I am not painting on stream. I know I have a bad habit of accidentally dragging the model off the camera sometimes. I don't mean to. I'm just a silly little bean. Booba. Hey, Hellbatch. Thank you for the luck. The real question, chat. Smash or pass? That's the real question. You'll be away from work till August. Ooh. I hope it's not for anything bad, Char. I hope that, you know, it's just time you get to spend doing the things that you want to do. I hope that you're taking care of yourself. You're a good bean, and I appreciate you. think I'll probably switch to a smaller brush soon. Maybe I should do the horns in gold. That would probably look quite good. Maybe. So I'm thinking she's going to have like very pink violet kind of skin. I kind of want every one of like my demonic characters to have a different primary color for like their flesh tone. Well, not primary color, but just a different color for their flesh tone. I just think it'll look nice that way, you know? No, just finding a new job while technically getting paid from the bad job. Nice. That's what I call a pro-gamer move. Fuck yeah. Hey, Fungi, how you doing? You don't want to go over why you're on leave on stream, though? It's a bit of an uncomfy topic. That's understandable, Char. As long as you are taking care of yourself, as long as you are happy and safe, as long as you have the things you need, to survive and take care of yourself. That's what I care about. And if you don't want to go on to specifics, but also if the specifics are a bit inappropriate for stream, that's okay. You can DM me and I will read it after if you want. You know? Yeah, I need to switch to a smaller brush. There's something you want my opinion on? Okay. I will give you my opinion. I will check the DM after stream. Okay? And I will respond accordingly. Okay. The real question is, do I want to have the horns in the same color? Or the carapace in the same color? I don't know. I'm thinking doing all of the bony stuff in gold might be the right call. Oh god. That wasn't meant to happen. Oh well. I was just trying to soak up the colour that was there and I ended up putting more colour on. Wow. You know what, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's going to be darker later anyway. And I don't need to worry. Because the blue ink we're going to use is going to really overpower the purple. You're being cooked alive and the heat is killing you. Guess what? What? I can't guess. You have to tell me. Well, that's just how it works. Or I need to have a clue first. What? Going back to doing lore videos. Nice. I hope you have a wonderful time with that. I really wanted to do a lore video on the new Dark Tide stuff that's coming up, but alas. There's so much that's been added to the game, I just didn't have time to cover it in time for my deadline. So there will be a very lengthy WTF is video. Okay. I think gold is going to work as a fantastic accent color for these. We'll go with different golds to what we used on the rest of our models in this army. So what's the first lore video you're going to work on, Vax? The cat's face. She is the mood of summer, chat. Do you not think? She is what we all feel when it is too hot. She has melted. Or she is floof. As we all know, floofs cannot survive in the summer. Okay. What should we do next, chat? We've got that primary burgundy down. Do I want to do more? More in this color? Should we do this chitin in that color? I think we should. Actually scheduled to
If you
release
guys have a
tomorrow.
prime, slap that prime on the table like a big fucking cock. Show everybody that you have a big fucking dick today and slap that prime on the fucking table right now.
Lol. Rip. Thank you. Lol. Yeah, subscribe with Prime. It costs you nothing because you already paid for Prime. And you might as well give me a little bit of money that, you know, it doesn't cost you anything. I will use it to buy plastic crack and paints and sniff glue and shit. It will only be used responsibly, I swear. And video games. Also video games. Very, very important. Very important. I'm sure you'd all agree, chat. Very, very important stuff. Video games. Lol. So functions as a Prime playlist. Order. So your typism or videos of painting. That sounds good. Yeah. I do enjoy listening to lore when painting. I need to get tweezers. I don't get why Rattle can spider web sometimes. Because there's no hair on the model and then suddenly random bit threads on it from like after I spray it. Like, why do you do this, paint? Why are you like this? I'm sure there's a scientific explanation as to why. It's so hot, chat. I am a melting cactus. This is a fact. I'm very excited for Thursday's stream, by the way. I spent most of today getting ready for it. There's so much I get to show off. Kind of. I'm just gonna be like doing whatever chat wants. I wish I could play with chat at the same time, but alas, it cannot be. Okay, I think we should go and do the skin next. Because there's a lot of it to do, honestly. Overall, getting the base colors down is going to be quite quick on this model, to be honest. I don't know what you'd like to do then. Yeah, I am cooking as well. I don't like the heat. I'm not a fan of summer. I am far from a fan of summer, to say the least. Okay, I'm gonna use Druchii Violet, and then I'm gonna thin it down with some Speed Paint Medium as the first coat on the thing. 'Cause Druchii Violet is quite a strong pigment to work with. It's almost like a very bright contrast paint, in all honesty. So it's going to be about a 50-50 ratio, which I believe is going to be exactly what I'm looking for. So it'll give us a nice bright pink, sort of violet kind of color. But it'll also be quite dark in the recesses. I actually do think maybe I've thinned this down a bit too much. Yeah, I think I have. Let's thicken this back up a little bit more. Not too much. Just a smidge. Yeah, that's perfect. We're definitely going to need to use some more saturated paints, I think, on these darker bits. But I already planned to anyway. The plan was always to just add a little bit more saturation once this was dry. I think using magenta as a recess shade. So that might be a bit too warm next to the violet, in all honesty. Play 40k with chat. There's Tabletop Simulator. I mean, I could do that. I could do a setup for it eventually. I'd rather not use Tabletop Simulator though. I'd rather just like invite someone in chat to like control one of the armies and say where they want them to go. And I could like run it and then have them play Punk. That'd be a fun stream. But by the end of partway through summer, we should be able to do battle report streams. Because we're getting some furniture for it. Once this room is a bit tidier, once the pile of shame is like reorganized and condensed into bits boxes. Because in all honesty, my pile of shame isn't that big, but I've got boxes left over from stuff I've built. And it's just full of bits of sprue that I need to like trim down. You know what I mean? Because it's like, there's a lot. And when you finish with it at the time, you're just like, I'm just going to leave that. I'll do it into a bits box at some point. And then it just builds up and then you have loads of it. And you're just like, oh no, I didn't mean for it to get like this, but it's too late now. It's already happened. But we'll get through it eventually. The only thing I'm thinking I'm probably going to add to the pile of potential is Grand Cathay when its Battalion box comes out, because I fucking love Grand Cathay. Speaking of which, I'm thinking I might do a very chill daily session of Total Warhammer 3 at some point with chat. But the issue is, like, I'm going to need people that can commit to playing it. Or maybe I might find some streamers that stream it, like, during daytime. I'm thinking it would be a fun thing to do during, like, a subathon or something. It's just to get some people together. I want to play Total War 3 some more. But it's too, it's very time investing. Oh god, my tracker crashed. Why? Why, little tracker? Why did you crash? Why? But yeah, I was thinking that could be fun. Because like I do have a lot of armies. I also want to do a Blackstone Fortress game where I invite some chatters to come and take control of the characters. And have a little web thing. Because that was one of the last subathon goal redeems. And it's like, again, I'm just waiting for a reasonably sized gaming table to set it up. So I've got most of the characters painted up. And then it's just going to be time to, you know, get them done. Okay. Just try and get some of the excess here off. Because it's the only bit. So I just realized I've given her an armpit arm. Wow. I don't know how I didn't realize that before. I quite like this as a skin tone, honestly. It's very simple. Very simple and effective. And it's just like a single coat of that like shade mix thinned down with a little bit of a contrast like medium. Just to help it be a bit thinner and go up to the recesses. And it just works really well. Druchii Violet's a very good paint. Like, I do think it's a bit strong to be classified as a shade paint, in all honesty. Like, I think it genuinely should be classified as a contrast along with the rest of the range. Because unless you thin it down, it's a very strong pigment it uses. But then again, some people might like that about it. I think it's a good quality. Like, just in terms of like, oh yeah, this paint is nice. Nope, this isn't ready. I need to add some white and tidy it up a little bit. Just absorb that. That's fine. Just paint a little bit of white on the bottom. Where is my... That's the frost effect. Where is my dead white? Wow. Why do you right? Can't work as a contrast. It can't... Because there's not enough pigments. I don't know. Like... When I used it right out of the pot for Azazel, it genuinely, the coverage was just as strong. Like, the whole model just turned to this really dark violet. Like, this is thinned down like by about 50%. So imagine the opacity of that being double. Like, that'd be a really vivid violet color. I have noticed using it on other materials, it tints things really strongly. More so than I think it's supposed to. Like, ever since my first time using it, I've been like, every time I try and use it, it just has to be thinned. Whereas shade paints are supposed to be like the kind of paints you basically just pull out the bottle and use, right? That's my understanding of them, at least. Okay, well, while that dries and we work on something else, let's do the wings, because the wings are amazing. Look at the fucking wings on this, chat. They're so good. I'm going to do them in like this very dark blue. Just because I think it's going to look great. Not for any other reason than that. I've used the same blue on my first demon prints for my word bearers. But I used it through an airbrush and it looked fantastic. It's very dark, so I'm going to thin it down quite a bit. And probably go over it with a couple of coats. Again, like with most inks, I'm thinning this with speed paints or contrast medium. They're the same thing, really, just by different companies. But they do this whole, like, contrast thing. It's so vivid as well. But the last time I used it, it was basically straight out of the bottle. I think I might need to add a little bit more pigment to it. Or just pile it on quite thickly. But this is a lot brighter than I thought it was going to be. I guess that's the difference between applying it with an airbrush and then thinning it with a medium. But I'm kind of glad I've done this thinned down version because you can see a lot more contrast on the feathers. Which, while there was still contrast on the version I did before, I feel like a little bit, like it wasn't quite as dynamic. Like the brights weren't quite as bright. The darks weren't quite as dark. Could you imagine, chat, painting every single one of these feathers manually? I would hate that. It would destroy my soul. No, I was thinking basically I'd run the stream and then Pink would play against someone in chat who would control how the army plays. And not for Tabletop Simulator. This was like a stream I was going to do where we have a physical army and I'll basically move the things the way chat wants and then Pink will play against chat. Because she's not very familiar with the game. And I know that there are some people that are getting interested in Warhammer 40,000 in the community that don't have armies. And this will basically let them play without having to like faff with stuff. And it'll be nice content for me because it's like I get to introduce more people to Warhammer and teach them how to play. I think that'd be really fun. We're also going to do an escalation campaign. I don't know if we're going to stream it, but it's definitely going to be a YouTube series on the Catgirl Hobbies channel, which is a new channel I've made, but I haven't launched yet. I'm going to be launching that about the time I re-debut, and it's going to be like painting tutorials, battle reports, tournament blogs, all that kind of thing, basically. All the kind of like general hobby stuff. And then I'm doing a new channel, which is where all the reading content is going at the same time, called The Catgirl Reads, which is going to be all about like the lore kind of stuff. It'll be like book readings, analysis, kind of just general coverage. It's going to be really hard to like do everything I want to do and keep on top of it. So I'm really grateful that Pink has started doing a lot of video editing for me. Because if I was like doing all the recording and editing that I was doing before, it wouldn't work. It would not work. Also, I'm aware this blue is far too bright, but it is very vivid and saturated, so we're just going to go over it again and it'll darken. Every coat, it'll get darker and darker, because, like, out of the bottle, the pure pigment is, you know, a very dark blue. So it's all about just building layers up until we reach that point. And also, the fact that we're using contrast medium means all of the paint is going to, all of the pigment is sinking into the recesses, which is the main reason why we're doing it, because we want it to have as dynamic a look as possible. I love inks. Inks are so vivid, like, because you're just painting with pure pigment. Though I am aware you do actually have to varnish these. Otherwise, the ink can reactivate. If, like, say, there's too much moisture around it or something. I kind of like how it sinks to the bottom, don't you, chat? How it creates that natural fade. It feels very Zinchian, but I don't know that that's means it can't also be Slaaneshi, because she is meant to be a demon prince of Slaanesh. But I wanted like a very dark blue, but I love this color. Like I always fall in love with inks as I paint with them. They're so much nicer than anything else, I think. Like the pure color is just there's something about it. I don't know if it's the tism that gets me, but there's something visually it makes my brain tingle in a good way, if that makes sense. The color feels Zinch. Zinch always wins at the end, according to Kikaku. Yes. Double agent. She could be. I mean, there's no reason why Zinch couldn't have thrown in a little blessing in there. But then again, Slaanesh is all about, like, color and excess and everything, in my opinion. So, like, she can kind of have all of the colors. Hell, Slaanesh sometimes does neon greens and yellows and gold and all kinds of stuff. My general opinion is if it's loud, visually, it can work. Maybe what I'll do is I'll dry brush neon pink over this. What do you think, chat? Do you think that would work, or do you think we're going a bit too crazy? Because I'm also slightly concerned I just ruin the beautiful colors we've already achieved. I don't really want to lose them. I just want to, like, darken them. Maybe what I ought to do is dip some Leviathan blue in here. No. I could mix some carbon black in here though. Just like the one drop would probably work amazingly well. Because carbon black is incredibly dark. What I'll do is once the wings are done, I'll test it out on her hair. Because the hair is going to match the wings. The real question is, do I actually just want to wet blend it? I don't know. I'm not very experienced with wet blending. Slaanesh Lord can also be the ultimate lazy cunt that only invades the planet because their forces constantly bother him from resting. Yeah, I mean, Slaanesh is the Lord of Excess, the Prince of Excess, and anything that feels good. So being a lazy bitch is absolutely in their MO, as it were. Oh, I wonder if I've got too much paint on here. Possibly. But that's okay. It's very nice getting to play with colors like this, though. It's just fun to me. I'm just going to start with the second coat, honestly. I don't need to fully, like, really do much here. Because just like before, it'll drip down and tint. And again, it just kind of, like, flows right into all of the recesses because of that medium we've used. And it just kind of works, really. I'm getting dripped on. Where? I have to be careful I don't touch any other bits of the model with wet hands. Hey, Kata-chan! That demon princess be drippin', she do be. She do be genuinely, like, drippin'. I need to darken these wings, though. Let's add a drop of carbon black to my ink mix. Where's my carbon black? That's my carbon black. I want to stress that I don't want any more than a drop because this pigment is... It's insanely strong. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's just... It's too powerful. Ooh, I like that. That's gonna look great. How you doing, Kata-chan? It's always lovely to see you. I definitely should have added more black to this. Holy shit. Is the blue just that powerful? It might be. It might be. I'm just gonna add another drop. Usually, whenever I do ink mixes with carbon black, it just overpowers everything. But not this time. It's really weird. That's 4 drops of carbon black. I guess it's because this isn't just one drop of the blue ink. It's like quite a few. Okay, that should be a fair bit darker now. I think this feels a bit more what we were going for originally. I do miss how vivid and deep the blue was. I think we'll use this as a recess shade. On the wings. I really love all the details, like this sculpt has, like in the way the hair is made and the feathers and the robes. Like it's actually like one of my favorite models I think I've ever seen. Ooh. I missed a spot. That's okay. We're just gonna blend in our new black blue mix over there. Ooh, actually, I've got an idea. Maybe what we should do is just do loads of different colors on the feathers and just blend them in to like different degrees. I have an idea, chat. And it may be either the dumbest thing I've ever done or it may be amazing. And we're just gonna start by blending all of these outer layers together. A bit shaky, so you can't paint. I hope that you're okay. But still, you can do planning work even if you can't paint tonight. Right? Yeah, just because you can't pick up a brush and put it to work doesn't mean you can't still do some work on projects if that's what you're in the mood for. I'm gonna blend in some greens into this. And some purples. She is gonna be like so colorful. It will be glorious, chat. You have to note that carbon black has a hint of green in it. And that's not something I ever noticed before. I'm going to put so much color on this model, chat. These wings are going to look amazing. They're going to be like vomit for your eyes. Lol. Hey, Small, how you doing? I need to do her face. Because I did not finish her face. Also just realized I might have mixed a bit of white in with the mix I had before. Bugger. Okay, fine. I'll just mix it again. Huh. You had a rough yesterday as well. Oh. Well, I hope that you feel better. I also had a rough yesterday. I was just kind of sick, really. For that. But I hope your rough yesterday was manageable, if nothing else. Oh, fuck. That other bit of paint there is still wet. Please don't drag into the thing I'm just painting paint. Just stay separate. Just stay separate. Yeah, mixing the carbon black with this is actually giving me exactly the color I wanted. It almost looks like a raven's wings. You don't remember it. Wow. So the manageable part is doubtful. Gotta carry on and keep painting. Wow. You shouldn't do it if it's gonna hurt you though. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. If your hand is shaky, you gotta be careful. You don't want to cause damage to your wrist. That could stop you painting for a long time. If it hurts, if it feels uncomfortable, take a break, assess, and figure out whether or not it's something you need to do right now, or if you can do it tomorrow, okay? Or in like half an hour's time or something, for when that feeling goes away. Always take care of yourself, Kata-chan. And I know sometimes it's hard to do the thing that we know is best for us because it means we can't always do the thing we want to do. But what we want and what we need aren't always things that really work together. That's just life, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't like that. I really do. Well, anyway, back to painting. Look at these colors. Aren't they amazing? That. That. And I know it sucks when we can't have do the things we want to do. It's so annoying. Thank you, Matto. What's that helmet on the Decala? The helmet is the Praetor, Mark 6 Praetor helmet from Age of Darkness. She is quite literally dripping with color, chat. I don't know if this is going to cause me problems down the line, but I think this is how she has to be. She is going to melt eyes. I might have to go over her hair with this blue. Not like the black blue, but just like the straight blue we had before. Okay.
Do you hear the voices too?
Trace Devils just followed.
Thank you so much for the follow, Trace. I hope you have a lovely time in our community here. What brings you to our little corner of the internet? Do you like Warhammer? Do you like mini painting? Do you like my silly memes that I post online? Either is acceptable. Well, I am just a silly little internet creature. Here for a good time. Not necessarily a long time. I'm just gonna throw all of these colors onto these wings while they're still wet, chat. What should we add next? Should we add what color do you want to add? Should we add to the wings next? Should we add some green? Do we want to add some green, or do we want to do something else? We could add some green, or maybe we could add some pink or purple. I'm letting you take the wheel, chat. This was your choice. So just whatever the first color someone says is what I'm gonna add to these wings, and they're gonna look really, really cool. But first, I'm gonna do some blue on the hair. She is gonna be like the kind of girl that you say that you can fix her, but then she makes you worse. That's what we are creating tonight, chat. Purple? We could do purple. You sent off all the things for licking emotes. Ooh, that's exciting. That's exciting. You want to throw some purple into the wings? We can throw some purple into the wings. Because she's not a member of the Emperor's Children, so I'm not doing her armor in the same color as the rest of my legionaries. Yeah, this whole blue... This darkening the blue was definitely the right choice. It feels...
Holy! You look at the size of them!
Andy Archer 88 just subscribed for 14 months. Take
my
this
God.
subscription, you purple catto.
Wow, Andy, thank you so much. Oh, actually, I should probably check the tracking on your thing. I wonder if it's arrived yet. Maybe. I mean, it was in America over the weekend. Thank you so much. Let me check. I want to make sure that it's arrived, or at least is like making its way towards you. You're sure it will get here soon? Let me have a looky-loo. Oh my god, why are you still in customs? Bruh. Your cat, she broke your blinds. Oh my god. Hi, Sliv. How you doing? Good morning. How you feeling? Did you have a nice snap? She is literally dripping. Holy shit. I don't know if it's a good thing. This is probably going to affect how I do the blacks a little bit. Because the robes are... Actually, no. The robes are just going to be black. It should be relatively simple. Also, I found a bit... a slight error. Okay, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious when it comes to the purples. I'm not going to just throw the paint at the model with wild abandon like I have done. I should probably also wait for at least this layer to dry before I keep adding more to it. But I don't know, there's kind of a bit of me that's really just enjoying yeeting paint at the model and seeing what comes of it. I think that's the fun thing about like painting the way I paint, is that it's just like when you go in without a plan other than, okay, this is going to be this color and that's going to be that color. Now what do I do with the rest of it? It's just playing with color, and it's just really fun. And with characters like this, you kind of just don't have to care, because she's got a story of her own. She's not just one of the legionaries that's ascended. She has her own motivations. And, you know, I haven't thought about what those are, but it means that she doesn't have to look like the rest of them, right? It means I get to do whatever I want with her, and that's just a good time. So I'm thinking we stipple in some purple, like in these bits here, is what I'm thinking. I say
Do
stipple.
you hear
I
the
don't know
voices
how...
too?
Jesse Okami just followed.
Jesse, thank you so much for the follow. I hope you have a lovely, lovely time in our community. Wow. This sleepy cat doll. I didn't realize you were following. You weren't following. That's okay. Thank you so much for the follow now. I have many cat dolls. Look at this creature. The self-booping. Oh no, she does not in fact self-boop this time. This is annoying me. I don't know why I'm like... This is the problem with me being impatient and sometimes not waiting until the miniature is fully dried. Is that now there's some color bleed in places. And mostly it's not too bad, but there's this bit here where the horn joins. I should do something else, but like I don't trust that things aren't going to yeah, I don't trust I don't trust that things aren't going to still drip a little bit further. So I kind of feel like we're just waiting. I could do some metallics, maybe. We could do some metallics, right, chat? You seen on Twitter that you were painting and you needed to join? That's fair. Fuck it, we ball. I'm gonna do more purple on the wings. I'm gonna do some purple on the wings. Dioxazine, why are you always such a stubborn bottle? Every time I try and open you, it's like you glue yourself shut. I don't know why you're like this, paint. I don't see myself needing too much of this. But we might as well just see. Look at this fucking cat. Look at this creature. She stares at you, chat. How do you feel? Okay. Let's splatter some here. Oh, that looks really nice, actually. I guess it's because it's still wet, it's just kind of blending in a little with everything else. Yeah, I really like this. I really like the result of putting the purple ink over everything else we've done. Let's see how far we can push it. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going. I guess I'll do the same with the hair as well. Imagine waiting until your layers are dry before putting new ones on, chat. Wouldn't that be really demanding of our patience? I hope that my impatience doesn't fuck this whole thing up. But I'm really liking the colors that we are creating tonight. Like, But I also love the Dark Tide soundtrack. It's so good to paint with. Okay. Oh, I might not have enough dioxazine for this, but that's fine. We'll just make more. We're gonna have to dry brush. We're gonna have to pick an accent color to dry brush this with though later, because it is getting a bit darker than I. Oh wow! Ooh, ooh, ooh! I didn't. You know what? I'm not gonna complain. That looks fantastic. Holy shit! Sometimes paint does things you don't expect it to, and it always makes me happy. Well, I say always. Most of the time it makes me happy. Sometimes it pisses me off. But when it makes me happy, my word, I think the results generally speak for themselves. Also, thank you, Katajan, for the call on adding the purple to this. Really happy with how it's turning out, honestly. It still kind of looks blue, but like there's a lot of colors in there now, since everything is kind of like just blended together while it's wet. Now we're just gonna we're just gonna do the roots on her hair, and hopefully that'll just pour down into the rest of it a little bit. I'm hoping if I put enough paint on, it'll just like fall down and become like a natural kind of gradient, like a fade. Or I guess I need to just get a brush and spread that down without adding more. We are going to probably need to do some highlights at some point. Just how I'm going to highlight it, who knows? But that's a problem for after we've actually got all the base colors done. Which we still haven't done yet, by the way. Like, we still have to do, like, the robes, which are just going to be black, and then the metals, which are also going to be super chill, because I'm just going to speed paint them, and then we'll add more to it as we go. And speed paints have amazing coverage, so yeah. But I am chuffed. I am chuffed with how that looks. This would this kind of blue would get the Night Lords like jealous. Holy shit. This reminds me of like the classic midnight blue from the 90s painting lineup that Citadel Color used to have. God, that was one of my favorite colors. Okay. I really need the wings to stop dripping. If you'd be so kind, wings, because like I have other things I want to paint, and you are too wet. She's too wet, chat. Not a problem I think I've ever had before. Ah. Okay. I'm just doing some color correction while I notice that it needs to be done. Okay, well. I would really like to do a coat of Black Legion on the robes. I'd really like to. Can I just get a tissue? And mop up some of this excess very quickly. Because it's all going to get covered anyway. It doesn't really matter. Now, black might seem kind of a bit banal for the kinds of colour we've already got on the miniature. But you need something to, like, make the vibrancy pop. So that generally has to be either a really nice highlight or something dark. And in this case, we're going with something dark. Because highlights will come later. Where's my black paint? It was definitely on the table before. Okay. I'll be one moment, chap. Because it's down to me right next to me. Extra paint. Black pencil. Not have the lovely saturation one. Wildwood. Oh, okay. Where is my black paper? Where are you, paint? This is a while. Well, I can't find my Black Legion, which I am 100% sure I put on this table before. I can't find it in my paint box. So that leads me to wonder if the cats have knocked it off the table at some point. Which happens more often than I would like. But we have a plan. So, I'm going to start with an initial coating. Oh, hang on, what's this? Null oil. No one gives a shit about that. Wow. I'm going to start off with Black Templar because it's what I have to hand. Now, I should probably paint over all this, but I'm not going to because we're going to go over this with carbon black, which is going to thoroughly cover up most of this. And if it doesn't, maybe we'll just add a little bit of saturation, color saturation to the whole thing. Who knows? Did I see the mini you posted? You found them outside. What? You found random minis outside? That's crazy. Who the hell leaves their minis outside? Oh! That's a war... Is that a Warcry warband? I think that's Age of Sigmar. Yeah. Yeah, those are very cool models. I like those. Yeah, that's a Warcry warband. What's the name of it? I know what models those are. I know what models those are because I was contemplating getting them at one point. So I know exactly what they are. Then what you have there is the K-Knight Shadow Stalkers. These guys. That's really random and unexpected. Holy shit. Well, I hope you enjoy them. They're very cool models. Why would someone just leave them outside? That seems so weird. It's not like they'd left them out to dry after priming, which, like, there's a bit of me that kind of understands doing that. But yeah, it still seems really odd to me. Black Templar might be everything I actually need it to be, now that I think about it. I think I will still give it a carbon black contrast coating, just to make sure it's very deep and to dull any of the blue that might come through. But I'm liking the grays. I'm genuinely quite liking the grey tones of this paint. It's nice getting to just do really big sections of a model in a single paint chat. Like, I think this is why I quite like using contrast and speed paints. There's something very satisfying about this. Like, you don't have to worry about too much. I mean, you do have to worry if you oversaturate the model in paint, because then it starts to drip, as we have been watching happen throughout the stream. Well, but sometimes it's fun to be messy. And if it's not fun, why would you do it? The same with any hobby, you know? If you aren't enjoying it, don't do it. Simples. And while I could copy what other people do, what's the point in doing art, which it is, if you're not doing your own thing? Because it's meant to be all about what you want to do. They're your models. Do them however you want. In whatever way makes you think, yeah, this is fun and cool. And if it's fun but it's not cool, figure out what you need to make it cool. And then just crack on, you know? There's too much paint on that for this section. Okay. We should switch to a smaller brush, actually. We are starting to get into bits where there's a lot of room for error. You've got to start using contrast when you get your... No, what you want... I mean, I guess it depends when you want to do your... When you want to do your Silent King and your Necrons, do you want them to be metallic? Because if they're not metallic... If you want to do them metallic, I would recommend RB Painter speed paints for that, rather than Citadel contrasts. Purely because Citadel contrasts don't have metallic colors. I do like a lot of the Citadel contrast range, though. They're just very useful. Very useful to have in hand. The only issue with contrast paints, though, is that you might have trouble finding the right colors to use to patch corrections if you ever make mistakes. Because obviously they're transparent, they're semi-transparent paints, depending on which ones you're using. So they might not have the coverage you need for a lot of things. Kind of reminds me of your friend's Fallen Divinity in Conquests. What, the model? Nice. What's Fallen Divinity? I feel like I've had a conversation very similar to this at some point. I don't know. Reading that kind of gives me a weird sense of deja vu for some reason. And I don't know why. They were in a public park. Jesus Christ, that's so weird. That's so weird that those miniatures were in a public park. Why would someone choose to leave them there? No sense just leaving them out in the rain, though, if it ends up raining. I hope someone's not upset that they'd be gone, but like, why would you leave your models out in a public park? That's so weird. It's very hard to understand. And just in a random cardboard box as well. Like, bruh. Okay. I think that we can start thinking about some other bits. What should we do next, chat? A random hair here. Where's my tweezers? Faction is called Old Dominion. I'm not familiar with that. I am not familiar with that. Okay. What next? What next? What's next? Why don't we do the blades and the metal work? I think that would work quite well. Use one of my favorite paints, Enchanted Steel. For now, this is just to get a base color. We'll be adding some highlights and shadow to it down the line. It very much feels like if classic bolt gun metal from the 90s was like a contrast paint. That's what this feels like, and I think that makes it like a brilliant kind of base paint to use for a lot of things. The coverage of the metallic speed paints is just incredibly good. Again, it's super just... It's just like one coat and it just does everything you need it to get like the basics of your color down. You posted the mini in Discord? Okay, let me check it once I finish with this paint. We'll probably do the rest of the staff in gold. Just because I think it looks appropriately fancy. Not for any other reason. I don't know how long we're going to go for tonight. I'm hoping we can get this mostly finished. At least finish to the point where I'll just base it off stream. But if I can get it done to the point where we can start basing on stream, that'd be fantastic. I do have work and I haven't actually eaten before the stream, so my plan is to not stay too late. God, I have so much paint on my hands. Wow. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Ooh, that looks like a fantastic miniature. That's cool as hell. Also, I'm loving your Battlefleet Gothic ships. Super jealous. I miss Battlefleet Gothic. And if I had a 3D printer, I would absolutely get in on it. Though you've chosen the Retributor class battleship, the inferior choice. All hail Nova Cannon Supremacy and the fighter launch bays of the Imperator class cruiser, class battleship. The best ship. Because I'm biased and I own it. Hey, Pato. I need a small brush. A small brush for what's being done, about to be done. So, what we're going to do now is this little zippy zip. Chat, will you unzip the giant woman? Very important question. You're talking about Conquest? Nova Cannons are the best, yes. You have a pair of Dominators? Or is it Dictator class? You never know. I'm not gonna lie, the one problem with Battlefleet Gothic is that most of the ships look like they're exactly the same. Except for like the tiniest of variations, and I'm just like, bruh. My favorite ones were the Mars and the Emperor. The Mars class cruiser and the Emperor. Those were my two favorite ships. Oh, and Cobra class destroyers. I really liked Cobra class destroyers as well. Back in the day, chat, in the 90s, playing Battlefleet Gothic and having the Battlefleet Gothic campaign run in the local store have impacts on the tabletop games that we were playing. It was very cool. It was very, very cool. Like, you could send fighters to attack the planet, and then it would be like a bombing run on the opponent's on the other battlefield. God, I fucking loved 90s Warhammer. It was so good. It was such a good like experience getting into the hobby back then. And like, I love the hobby these days. I just wish I had the time for it that I did when I was a kid. You know? I wish I'd spent more time being involved in the hobby as a kid than I did, in all honesty. I'd probably be way better as a painter now. But you know, we had no money or time. Time is always something we run short of. A little bit here. Oh god. I accidentally touched the blade when I put the model down. That was an easy fix, thankfully. Okay, what's next? I think we have to do this underside of the tail. I just realized, chat, is this the Slanesh equivalent of a bunny gal? I think it might be. It's half the reason you bought a 3D printer. It would be the only reason I'd buy a 3D printer. I really hope they just bring Battlefleet Gothic back again. I would have, like, a massive Battlefleet in a heartbeat. Like, Games Workshop have been slowly, like, having a bit of a renaissance and getting all of the really fun and great games from the 90s back into production. And I really hope they keep doing it. Like, Blood Bowl and Necromunda have both been getting really good releases. It's like they're just cult games that have really good fandoms behind them. And I mean, as far as business strategy goes, you just exploit that shit. Give me my models and take my money. Like, I mean, don't take my money. Realize I'm a content creator and send me them for free. Then I will promote them and shill them because not because I care about shilling your product, but because I want more people to play with. That's the only reason. I want more people to play it. Buy the plastic crack, chat. Buy the plastic crack. Do it. You know you want to. I don't know why I didn't do this. I'm just going to do the top panels in gold. Thank you, Metal. They look very different between races. Well, within the faction, they mostly... Well, yeah. Yeah, because everything is built to, like, standard template constructs, especially in the Imperium. I think it's harder to tell more so with the Orcs and the Eldar than anything, because everything kind of just looks the same. And they don't even have big, like, unit selections. Like, Orcs are just, like, a fucking rock. And then Space Hulks. And more rocks. And I'm just like... Bruh, this has like some orky paintings on it, but like, what is it? And they're just like, don't worry about it. Here's the stat line. And I'm just like, fuck, okay, whatever. I don't know what this shit is. This is the benefit of playing Orcs, chat. No one can question you, because it's just like Daka and rocks. And then rocks with Daka. As Gork and Mork intended. Oh, I need Volupus Pink. Oh, I have Volupus Pink. Excellent. One paint I forgot I needed to use. Nids are terrifying in boarding, I can imagine. I've heard the Nids were like really strong. What time is it? Okay. I'm going to take note. We'll spend about an hour more on this miniature on stream chat. So I'm hoping that we should be able to get it done in that time. What do I need to do? I need to do the golds, and I need to do the claws. I need to do a little correction here and there on some other bits. Washes and highlights. God, these wings do get in the way when it comes to like trying to access bits of the model, I have to admit. Kind of wanted to do that like bit of flesh so that it's like blending into everything around it. I think we've got that mostly done. A little bit more. Cool. Now we can move on to doing the first base coat for the golds. Now, there are some highlights I'm going to do on this miniature at some point. Mostly on the armor, I think. The cloth is looking quite dynamic as is. Like, I'm actually pretty happy. I wanted to go with Black Legion, but I think Black Templar Contrast has really done everything we needed it to. When you smash the hive ship with the lucky Nova cannon shot, the armies is swing. I loved Nova cannons. I just liked it because they were like, they did lots of damage and they had templates. Anything that did lots of damage and had templates when I was a kid was my favorite. Was my favorite, hands down. Okay, let's pick out a gold. A gold, a gold, a gold for this miniature. I don't have one on the table. Let's pick one out together, chat, shall we? No, I don't. I'm refusing to use Aztec gold because that's what I use in all the rest of my Emperor's Children. And while she is in the Emperor's Children army, she is not one of the Emperor's Children. So I want to make sure she's got some decent visual distinctions from the rest. Another gold in here. Okay. Well, this is technically bronze, but it's basically gold. So I'm thinking glittering loot, golden armor, or horde bronze. Let's have a look at what these look like. Horde bronze is actually very warm. I like that. Golden armor is deeper and richer. I think I've used golden armor before. Glittering loot is definitely the warmest of the lot. I think I'm going to go with horde bronze, actually. I think horde bronze is going to stand out the most, both in the army and on this particular color scheme. But there's a lot we actually need to do with this color. So not only are we going to do the horns in this color, We're also going to do the detail on the sword, the thing, all of the little rivets, the skulls, the little things that are holding her tits, all the icons, and the back end of the tail. So, since we have the little brush in hand, we're going to start with the little bits. I don't actually think I've ever used this paint on a model before, so I'm hoping it'll look nice. Okay. I'm very excited for tomorrow, chat. We're going to be playing some Elden Ring Night Rain with Nay and Lex again. Oh, maybe not actually. Maybe I don't want to use this paint. Maybe I don't want to use this paint. After seeing it on the back of my hand. I think I might want to go for... No, I don't know that I want to go for golden armor. I'm just going to look at... I'm just going to color test them all. But yeah, no, Horde Bronze is too dark. A lot darker than I thought it was going to be. Glittering Loot is kind of like... It looks very coppery. I have another gold. There is another gold color somewhere in my paint box called Hoplite Gold. And if I remember right, I think it's the color I'm looking for. But if I can't find it, golden armor is what it's going to have to be. We have another alternative, actually. One I do also really like. You could break out the Ionic Smart Paints again. Of course, that means I have to actually find them all. Oh, where are my things, chat? Hoplite Gold, perfect. Excellent. I'm absolutely certain this is the color I want. Yeah, that's perfect. It's not quite as bright as Aztec Gold, but it is very bright. Night, Kata-chan. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful rest and that you feel better in the morning. What? Yeah. Hoplite Gold is the correct call here. I wonder why the sculptor decided to give the statue bare feet. Because sisters have never been depicted with bare feet before in miniatures. And it just seems very... I want to say unique. I feel like that's putting it generously. Do we think they were just being a bit sus, chat? You tried making gold by mixing thin silver with the sepia wash. No, what you need to do is paint the silver as silver and then wash it with sepia afterwards. But what you can do is mix it with ink, because washes aren't ink. You need very strong pigment. But also, with metallic paints, you also need to keep stirring them, otherwise they separate. You can tint silver paint with inks. It's how I highlight my Emperor's Children. I tint silver paint with a tiny bit of dioxazine purple to just make a brighter version of how they, a brighter version of their normal armor color. And that's how I highlight. But you need to use inks, things with high pigments. Otherwise, it just won't have the effect you imagine it will. But at least it's something you learned from Pato. And as long as you learn from an experience, that's a good thing, right? I really like this gold. It has such nice coverage. It's so smooth as well. Oh, I was worried there would be some overspill there. Oh well. Not the end of the world. These icons. The little rivets over there. Okay. Wow, Pato. I will do a hydrate. Sorry, I was just kind of focusing on the thing. Wow. She's a very awkward miniature to hold, I have to admit. I think I'll do a deeper purple contrast on her face. On her skin, rather. Like Magos purple or something. I think that'll look good. I think it'll help, not that Magos purple is particularly dark, but I think in the context of the current skin tone, it'll help deepen it a bit. Oh, bugger. Me tries to make a correction, makes it worse. Wah. It's because that's touching that, that's why it's all flowing. Oh, bugger. Bugger. That's fine. Fine. I'm just going to go over it with black later anyway. It's very shiny, this particular gold. Like, for a speed paint especially. Oh, I dropped my brush. Okay. What am I doing? We have the chaos icon. Once this gets a wash on, it's going to look really nice. Hmm. Oh, that's wrong color. Let's wash our brush. Okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? Do I need any gold on here? Yeah, this little glove could do with some gold on this little ornamented bit. Oh, I'm holding it in a way that it doesn't focus. My bad, chat. I guess I've gone over that too much. I'll have to go over it with the burgundy later. That's fine. So, what else do I need to do? I need to do that. So I will. We need to go over the blacks with another coat, and then I'm going to go over the gemstone as well, because I kind of like metallic gemstones, honestly. You get a lot of natural reflection, which I think helps. You have to do the horns and then the gold plating on the tail. Okay. Okay. What more? What more? What more? This bit needs a little bit more. Okay. Okay. I think I need to adjust the focus for this bit. Where is my camera control? kind of a little bit of a pain to get in under here. Oh, we'll get it done. Okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? Is that fully done? Is there anything we need to... That's from that angle. Okay, we have to do the tail and the horns. These I'm just gonna do now. I kind of think that since these horns come out of her eyes, that they actually function a bit like antennae. Don't you think, Janet? Does that make sense? I feel like it might. So if that's what I'm going with, there's a bit of me that kind of feels like I ought to make her look a little bit more insectoid. But that's a lot more work than I could figure out how to do when I was building her. But I think in theory, it makes sense, right? Okay, let's finish getting these horns done. We might end up doing a second stream on this. What I'm thinking for now. Because I feel like we could definitely push this a bit further than just the base like wash highlight kind of thing. We'll have to see once we get the base colors fully down, just what exactly we want to do with her. There's so much that you can't see from certain angles. Just because there's like so many parts that kind of like cover each other. So I'm a little bit worried about missing stuff. I think that's probably my biggest concern. Gonna have to adjust the focus again, aren't I? And the lighting. Okay. Okay. Oh, bugger. I'm gonna have to go over the hair again, aren't I? Not too much, just to tidy up some bits. As long as we get the bases down and tidy tonight, I'll probably be happy. I'll probably be happy with the end result of today's session. I do think it was a bit naive to think we could actually finish her tonight. There's just a lot on the model. Not nearly as much as Fulgrim though. Fulgrim was crazy. Whereas this, while a lot simpler, does have a lot going on in its own right. Okay. Okay. What's next? There's a bit of me that wonders if maybe I should have sculpted the tail instead of using like one of the spare tendrils from a Forge Fiend. But I quite like this, honestly. There's probably a bit more on it than something I would have forged? Sculpted? Ah. Okay, I've got that bit. Cool. Right, that's basically all of the base layers done. So let's start looking at corrections. I don't really want to do anything that's directly touching the gold just yet, because it's probably still a little bit wet. So let's start with the that is actually a bit of a problem. Why is that so dark? Oh, bugger. Okay, no, that's fine. Let me fish out some Lagos purple. You might need to thin it potentially. Magos purple. A little bit more warmer, I think is the right word. A bit warmer than I expected it to be. But we'll see. I think it, let's just do a tiny bit on the foot here. Yeah, that's much warmer than I expected it to be. Okay. Dreadful Visage? I'm just trying to think what kind of colour would really work. We still have to do the claws. I'm just going to do those in Leviathan purple. Luxian is probably way too blue and also too dark. What's the right colour? Shyish, I know, is too dark. Maybe I just want to wash it in Druky Violet. There is also something else I could do. I just need to find the paint. I can't remember what it's called. No, Dreadful Visage is awful. I don't like Dreadful Visage. I think I'm just going to go with some Magos Purple neat out the bottle to finish this. To just tidy up the Druky Violet. Like, to tidy up the skin a little bit. Because it is a very strong pigment. I think what I will do, though... So I might stipple on a little bit of white. Using some of our slightly dried out dead white that we've got in our palette. Just to tidy it up just a little bit. Okay. Okay. Now that that's done. I'll leave that to dry for a... Actually, I think I want to put just a little bit more white on the face here. I'll also use a little bit of Druchii Violet on where it starts to join on to this, just to kind of create a little bit of a blend, is what I'm thinking. For now, I think I want to go over bits of the hair. There's just been a smidge. Just a smidge that's carried over just a little too far. That's fine. That's fine. We're going to do some Druchii Violet on the rest of the skin now. And hopefully that will just deepen it just a little bit. But do you see what I mean about how Druchii Violet is kind of a little bit like a contrast paint in terms of just how much it impacts a bright color underneath it. It just... I don't dislike it, but it's much stronger than I ever expected it to be. I kind of love how vivid and the purple on the skin tone is. With the second coating. Hey Alex, how you doing? Would commit heresy for her. Damn right you would. Well, how you doing? Lovely to see you as always. Zira, hi. Oh, you want me to give the catos a treat? Oh dear. I'll have to get up and go to the other room. There's a chance they may leave afterwards. How you doing, Zira? I don't have the treats to hand. Give me one moment. Let me finish this colour, and then I will get the cats a treat. But just so you know, if they leave and I have to turn cat cam off, that was a chat request, lol. Would commit see for the pineapple flashy. Evie, work was a bit much today. Oh, well, I hope that you can relax a bit. I'm going to be going to bed relatively soon, in all honesty. Because it's doubtful that she's getting finished today. Just a bit too much paint on here. Drain that away. Okay. Okay, I think that's us done with the Druki Violet for now. Still need to make sure I've drained it before it dries on certain bits. I think that works for a skin tone. Just get a little bit more on the grippers. I'm going to paint her toenails, chat. And her claws. And her actual nails. It's all happening at some point. I don't know when, but it's probably going to happen tonight. I know what color I'm going to do them in, which is kind of a bit basic in all honesty. But I think it's what's needed. Something dark to contrast all of the colors. I'm really happy with how the wings have turned out. Really happy with how the wings have turned out. Let me get the Kato treats. Heresies of Spice of Life. Exactly. Exactly. Do I want to wash the... No, that'll be a later kind of thing. Okay, let me get the Kato as a trait. No. You go back in the... Oh, Evie, look. This fucking cat. Jesus Christ. Here you go. Sorry. So greedy. She's like, she has to be the first one. She has to eat them all, and she gobbles them up, and then Haru doesn't get any. I say that, I had treats in each hand. She doesn't realise, lol. Aha! Katos have been treated. We may potentially lose the Katos in a moment though. What do we think so far, by the way? I think the project is going reasonably well. I do need to do another coat of I do need to do another coat of black on the cloth, which we will do. It'll be quite simple. Where is my black paint anyway? There it is. Tonight is the sleepover. Tiger and this mini will paint each other's nails and gossip about their crushes. Lol. Bye, Haru. See, I told you we'd lose a count. Every time they get treats, they decide to, like, leave. And I don't know why. Evie, do you want to go in the cat hole so, like, chat can see you? Because right now, all they can see is, like, a part of your ass. At least it's not, like, the pink eye stare, the one-eyed stare she gave chat, like, the last time she came up on cat cam partway through a stream. That was kind of funny, though. Let's be real. It was a little bit funny. This is kind of like a bit of a blue-black, which I think ultimately, given the spillover we had before, kind of works in our favor for this miniature. We'll have to accent the highlighting and probably give her the cloth a nice black wash to deepen it later. Okay. The old Eye of Sauron. Yes. But the cat eye of Sauron is a little bit different. A little bit different. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Well, it is a different kind of evil. A stinky kind of evil. Okay. Maybe I should just stick with blue, actually, for the nails. Yeah, like a deep blue for the nails. I don't know if it'll match the feathers. I could try and do it so it matches the feathers. But I wouldn't perfectly match the feathers. I was thinking black, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of black on the model as is. I don't know that I want to add more. And I think going purple is probably just a bit too... I mean, it's going to be on purple areas already. So I don't think it would look great because it would be too similar. Yeah, the second coat of black was definitely a good idea. Definitely. Okay. Just this bit in here. How am I going to do this? Okay. Oh, fuck. Get some dry bristles and soak that off before it stains. There we go. No one will ever know. Oh, fuck. No one will ever know. Cool. Okay. What's next? Claws and nails. And then I think that's kind of us out of time for the night. Since I have work tomorrow and I need to eat before I go to bed. So we've got one more bit to do, and then I think we'll be pausing this project for the night. But we will continue at the same time next week, I think. I'm gonna use this deep blue ink mix we used before. No, I'm gonna use the blue mix we used before because this is going over it's going over purple, so it should darken noticeably. Oh right, I forgot that's incredibly bright. Lol. No. No, that's also not the color I want. I want Leviathan blue. Just straight up Leviathan blue. Just happens to be on my desk. It's the right call, chat. I'm sure of it. It's just a little bit bluer than the mix we made before. It's just a little bit more saturated as well. Actually, it's not really that much different. Huh. Huh. Okay. Whatever. I'm not actually that sleepy. It's just that I have work tomorrow. Fortunately, I don't have work the day after, so like tomorrow's stream is going to be a fair bit later. It's going to be nice to hang out with Nay and Lex. I love them both. They are good beans. Oh, bugger. I've just found something I need to paint. And I found some random spider webs from the prime I need to pull off. I don't like how the more I paint, the more of these I notice. I mean, I'd rather have just noticed them ages ago before I started the stream and could have pulled them off then. I don't even get what causes them. Because there's none on the model. Then I prime it, and then suddenly they're there. It's almost always when I do a zenithal kind of thing. And I'm just like, bruh, you weren't here before. Can you kindly, like, sod right off? Wow. I'm going to soak up some of this excess paint. Okay, anyway, back to nail painting. Well, oh, I keep finding things I want to work on this model. And I'm just like, wow, it is late. Kitty OP painting. I wonder if sod is a British saying. I don't. It is a British thing. Sod off, as they say. I believe Halo is what exposed most people to that saying, where Cortana, in her very American accent by Jennifer Hale, said "sod off," because she was originally written to have a British accent, and so they thought they'd use that, and then, yeah. Random Halo Combat Evolved trivia. God, I fucking love Halo, chat. Not like new Halo, but like classic Halo, you know? New Halo has always been kind of like whatever. I do want to play the cursed Halo mod at some point, though. Okay, one last thing before... That's the inside of this thumb, which I apparently just didn't bother to paint. And also, I'm sure I did this handle, like the hilt. But it doesn't look like it's been painted, so I'm going to quickly do that. Or maybe not, because the paint is dry. Well... Oh no, it isn't. I was looking at the wrong thing. What else should we do? Okay, there's one more thing I want to do before I go. One very small thing. Looking at a long thing. Oh, what is that then? Okay. It's tall. And those are long. Those are horns. They come out of her eyes. Ah! Ah! Everything is fine. No one saw me knock over the model I'm painting. No one. Not a single soul. The only thing I'm really going to do now is just the gemstones. There's still some bits I need to correct, but I'll save those for next week. I might prep the base as well, so that like we can show how we're going to base it next week as well. So we're just going to use some nice turquoise contrast. Actually, no. Not this one. This is not as vibrant as I would like. I'm gonna use this one. This should be a very nice green over the gold, I think. God damn it, I found another thing I need to correct. Ah. I'm gonna do it now before I forget, because it's only gonna take like a second. There's no more gems. We've done the nails and the claws. I would have done the lips, but like they're still wet, so I don't think I can just yet. I'm gonna just drain that away, actually. I was going to do them in blue, like the claws, just because I thought that would look nice. Okay, final thing. Just to correct this bit here. Cool. I think that's us for the night. If we didn't need to eat, I'd have probably stayed up and done a bit more. But I think this gives us a decent amount to work on next stream as well. I quite like the Druchii Violet effect on the gold, in all honesty. I might extend that to the rest of the model.
Look out! Here they come!
Oh my god.
Satira Corner just raided with 4 viewers.
Thank you so much, Satir. Thank you so much for the raid. Ah, I was literally just about to end. I'm so sorry. How are you doing? How was your stream? Welcome, welcome, raiders. I am Tiger. Can we get a shout out for Satyr, please? Welcome, welcome, raiders. I'm Tiger. I'm a variety streamer. I love Warhammer. I like to paint minis. This is one of our kit bashed demon princes. This is one of 3. The other 2 you can kind of see in the background. Therefore, our Warhammer 40k army. I love doing kit bashes and making custom work, especially for these kinds of characters. Because if you want to run multiples of them in one army, it doesn't make sense to just have them all be the same model. Lol, double shout out. Thank you, Fungi. Thank you, Zira. I appreciate you. Yeah. Wow. But thank you so much for trusting me as your community. What's Drop Duchy? I've never heard of that. It's a Tetris roguelike deck builder. Oh, that sounds interesting. It sounds like the kind of game I'd enjoy, like, chilling with. Yeah. Do you like Warhammer? What brings you to our little corner of the internet? What got you to raid into us tonight? I hope that you had fun. Very chill and fun game. Really fun upgrade mechanics. This sounds like a good time. I should probably find someone to raid into. I'm so sorry though. I don't like to raid out or end stream just after people raid, but like I sadly have a time limit tonight because I have work in the morning and I need to. I'm saving the rest of this miniature to finish painting next time. And getting started with anything else would take far too long, I think. But I really appreciate that you trust me with your community. I will hope to try and return the favor in the future. You enjoyed your stuff before? I like raiding into other queer, neurodiverse, and British streamers. Aww. That's sweet. I'm glad. I'm glad. It's a nice little community here. Or at least I try to make it. I think maybe I'll raid into Mechagnius. Mechagnius? Maybe I should raid into a smaller stream. I want to do someone who's doing more miniature related stuff if I can. But there's a bit of me that feels like I should like expand my my raiding circle. Oh, Beeper's streaming. I haven't raided into Beeper in forever. He raided into us. He's not doing mini related stuff though. He's playing Ark. I need to find more miniature and model streamers, chat. Like, more good ones that are streaming at this time of day. Maybe some more VTubers. Maybe some more VTubers. Do I want to find someone new, chat? Let's find someone new. I'm gonna look at some random VTubers that are painted, that are doing miniatures and models. And hopefully we'll find a cool one to raid into. That's a house. What's this? This is hard, chat. Picking people to raid is hard. It's never normally this difficult. Beginner paint and chill. That might be a good one. Oh, that looks cool as hell. Oh. Oh, they don't... This person doesn't even allow me to raid. Fuck. That's... Oh. Oh, that's... Oh. Oh, that's the weirdest thing. Like, bruh. Bruh, I wanted to raid you. Why did you not let me raid you? Okay, fine. I'll just raid into Mick. Mick's a good egg. People are really weird. Like, I totally get, like, if you've had hate raids and stuff. But, like, it's like when people, like, turn subs only and chat when you're, like, a small streamer. Like, how are you meant to get people to come hang out? I don't understand the logic. I mean, I'm sure there is some, like, sense to the thinking. It's just not something that, like, I am perceiving in my brain. But, you know, that's fine. Each to their own. And if they don't want random people raiding into them, sharing their communities, that's okay. You have to respect the choice, even if you don't understand it, you know? But thank you all so much, chat. Tomorrow, I'm going to be playing Elden Ring Night Reign with Lex and Nay. Wonderful, wonderful people and friends of the community. I hope that you have, like, a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I will see you tomorrow, okay? Yeah, you have to have a big audio, like slow mode is there if chat is too busy. See you later, chat. Mwah. Mwah.